Good evening, everyone. This is Jonathan J. Dog Letterman, and you're watching the Anything Bucket on WRPBI TV. Tonight in studio, I have a philanthropist, a business leader, a life coach, somebody who can change the world. Please welcome Mr. Ron Catriono to the Anything Bucket. Ron, welcome.
Thanks, Jonathan. I hope I can live up to all that.
Well, I'm sure you can.
You gave me a lot of accolades.
Ron and I met doing charity work, actually, and Ron does a lot of work in a charity in addition to the business consulting that you do. And we're here to talk a little bit about one charity that you started. It was taking a tragedy and turning it into something that could be triumphant. And I'm going to have everybody listen to you while you tell that story about that particular charity, and then we'll transition into the other charity work that you do.
Absolutely.
So go ahead and tell us about your charities.
I'll tell you about Marissa's Way first. Back in November of 2013, it was probably one of the worst days of my own personal life. My brother's daughter was killed tragically in a wrong-way crash on the Sawgrass Expressway. It's captured a lot of attention, not only locally, but nationally and globally. And it was a wrong-way collision that was on the Sawgrass Expressway the morning of November 17th. In that crash, Kayla Mendoza was driving the wrong way on the Sawgrass Expressway and eventually met up with my niece Marissa and her friend Caitlin in a head-on collision. Marissa at the time wasn't driving, she was in the passenger seat. After this whole thing unfolded, we found those details out. The contact of the cars was passenger side to passenger side, so her contact was the hardest on her side of the car. She was killed instantly. We found that news out in the hospital about 6 o'clock in the morning. After being up all night worrying about this and trying to get details, and it was very vague, FHP and the City of Coral Springs Police Department did an absolutely marvelous job. I have to commend them. One officer in particular, Jason Carter, kind of, you might say, befriended us. And at the hospital told his sergeant, "I'm not leaving this family." And he stood with us. And through the whole incident, he was a wonderful man. We've given him commendations through his police department, and we respect him totally. And we went home later that morning, and I sat down at my computer, and I can't tell you how it happened, but I sat down, and I have creative juice, creative energy. I just created a logo that said Marissa's Way. And I put below it, detection for prevention. And I called my brother, and I emailed it to him, and I called him up, and I said, "Gary, look at what I just sent you." I says, "We have to do something that Marissa's death is not in vain. We have to do something." Being proactive in nature makes you kind of gravitate to these things. Well, we created Marissa's Way. My brother took the ball and has run with it, and I'm very proud of him. Because if we had not had this, then I would fear for my brother's health and well-being, because he's kind of fragile. So I shudder to think what would have happened if I hadn't got him involved in this and we hadn't engaged him in Marissa's Way. And he's done an amazing job. Coming up this summer, they're going to be installing wrong-way blinker signs on the Sawgrass Expressway as a result of the efforts made by primarily my brother Gary and the team of people that we've assembled to push Marissa's Way forward. So it's been an interesting and amazing journey. My sister-in-law Natalie is doing better, in dealing with it. As a matter of fact, just this past Tuesday, we filmed the Marissa's Way Angels video. There's a song called Angels by Dean Arlay, fabulous song. It is available on CD Baby, and it's also on iTunes. And the video will be out probably in about 30 days. So things are going forward. Things are looking good. My brother's doing well. Natalie's doing better. We have an amazing group of people doing what we believe is a very strong and needed public service. And Marissa's Way is going to thrive and is going to survive and thrive.
And what I find amazing about it is, instead of going into the cocoon and saying, "Why me?" and this, and you found a way to bring the family forward.
Exactly.
And finding, as a good friend of mine wrote in her book, for Sean Sarkeesian, her book is Finding Joy After Loss. And that's probably the hardest thing for anybody out there is to move forward, especially when it's a niece or a daughter. And that if you could tell people a little bit about how you coped through Marissa's Way and how people can again, get in contact with Marissa's
Absolutely.
Way?
Well, the media gravitated to this situation right away. So even right after the incident happened, at the funeral home, everything that we did, there was media. There was the CBS 4, NBC 6, WPLG 10. They were all there. And they embraced us. And it wasn't from a sensationalism standpoint. It was from a we really give a damn standpoint. And I was delighted to see that, because you know what the media sometimes does. They blow things out of proportion, make it bigger than it is, and you become a media circus. Well, we became something of a group with a very definite aim and cause, and it was Marissa's Way. We have a website. It's marissasway.org. Very active. We have a very active Facebook page, and that is on Facebook, obviously, www.facebook.com/Marissa's Way. Again, very active, very engaging. We're doing things constantly. Like I said, we just filmed the video. We have our next meeting coming up the first Tuesday in June. Every month, first Tuesday in June is our meeting. And we're making good things happen as a result of this. The team is wonderful. Everybody's hardworking and dedicated. And we are going to make a difference. We are going to prevent some of these wrong-way collisions. We can't prevent them all. But I think with the efforts we're making, with the wrong-way blinker signs that are being provided by TAPCO out of Texas, it's been a very interesting, enlightening, and a wonderful journey.
And it's a journey that's going to make a positive impact.
Yes.
And that leads us into a journey that you started a while back with your Big Bike Riders
Yes.
Foundation.
Yes.
And I know every year you do toy drives and food baskets and
Yep.
all types of great activities in the community. If you could tell us a little bit about the Big Bike Riders.
Well, that started back in 2004, and we started as the Big Bike Riders Association. Came in today, and I'm wearing my Indian t-shirt. I have an Indian and a Harley Davidson. And we started doing things, basically it was a cause for kids. For kids that were exploited, that were abused, neglected, we gravitated to those children to try and help them, to do things for them. We have a program called Special Wishes, where the family can contact us, and if they need a bicycle or school clothing or school supplies or whatever it is they need, we're going to try to provide that. We do hospital visits. We do a Thanksgiving program where we get families that can't afford their meal. We buy it. We do a toy drive, and we distribute the toys to a number of charities locally, including SOS Children's Village, Children's Home Society, God's Little Acres, different groups like that. We just bring the toys, Easter baskets. Anything we can do, we try to do. And it's fun. You know, we're on motorcycles, big burly guys, and so our good-looking ladies are on our motorcycles. And motorcycles are like magnets for kids. The kids gravitate right to them. And when you have beautiful Harley Davidsons and gorgeous Indians, then you know you've got the stars of the show. And then with us on those bikes doing what we do, we're like goodwill ambassadors for children. Everything we do, we say, we have a saying: you're never so tall as when you stoop to help a child. And that's all we do. That's our whole cause. If we're not helping children, I would say in our meetings, what are we doing now that benefits a child? And I would go around the room and I'd say, what are we doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And everything had to be towards the children. What can we do to make it better for the kids? There's so many kids out there today that suffer because of neglect, abuse, exploitation, whatever it may be. Look at Florida. We had Jimmy Rice. We have Adam Walsh. We've been made aware of, our state's been made aware of itself through tragedy. We want to do things that are done well, that are produced well. We do an annual ride in March, Smiles Ride for Kids. We're changing it up next year. 2015, it's going to be a burger build-off and a music festival. And we're going to add something called Touch a Truck. So we're going to change it up. We do that. Right now, our benefactor is Chris Everett Children's Hospital and the Broward Health Foundation. We've had a great relationship with them for the last 7 years. Just excited about what we do and how we do it. And we give bikers a good name. And
that's a great
yes.
thing. And we're going to wrap it up. I know you're excited and your passion
yes.
comes through for both of these great charities. If you can tell the viewers how they can get in contact with you to support the Big Bike Riders Association and
Absolutely.
Things that you might be looking for.
It's pretty easy too. Our website is called Bikers Care for Kids. And you could use .org, bikerscareforkids.org. You can use the #4 or the word FOR. Either one will get you there. Our office number is 954-346-3343. That goes right into my home office. And our Facebook page, Big Bike Riders Children's Foundation. We're accessible. We're there for the kids. If you know someone that needs some help or assistance, we want to be there for them. So reach out to us. We'll reach out to them.
And we want to thank Ron for being here with those two fantastic charities, making a positive impact in the community and showing that service to humanity is the best work of life.